Hey guys, Big Todd coming back to you today with another video. Guys, the last video that I posted, it was on how to load magazines, right? It showed you some tips and tricks on how to load your magazines, and then I showed you some easy loaders. I got to thinking when I was editing that video, there's probably a lot of shooters out there that don't know how to load their gun. I know it kind of sounds crazy, but you know what? It happens. There's people out there and they buy guns and they don't have any formal training and they just simply aren't sure how to load their gun. So today in this video, guys, I'm going to show you how to load your semi-automatic pistol. Now, before we get started, guys, I would like to say if you're a new shooter and you've typed into YouTube how to load a semi-automatic firearm or something like that, something to that effect, I want to urge you to go and get some formal training. A firearm's very dangerous when you don't know what you're doing with it and when you don't have a healthy respect for it. So if you go and get some formal training, go to your local shooting center or look up a place near you that does firearms training, please go get that training. I'll tell you what, it's invaluable to have that knowledge. And once you have that new firearm and you have that training, practice, practice, practice. Go to the range and practice shooting. And then when you get home, take that gun apart, clean it, put it back together. Do that every time and be familiar with that firearm. Be familiar with how it comes apart and how it goes together so you can be educated in your firearm. Now, the pistol we're going to be working with today is the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro. All right, let's go to the tabletop. All right, guys, here we are at the tabletop. And again, I want to reiterate, this is for how to load a semi-automatic pistol and how to unload a semi-automatic pistol properly and safely. This does not pertain to revolvers. So if you have a revolver, that's going to be a different video. I'll have to do one of those in the future. Now, when you get your pistol, you're going to, in the box, receive the pistol. In this particular box, I received the pistol, the sight, and the magazine. If you don't have a sight coming with it, it'll just be the pistol and the magazine, and you'll have a lock and some other things in it like that. But what, for our purposes today, what we're looking for is the pistol and the magazine. Okay, so I'm going to show you that this pistol is unloaded. We're going to lock that slide back, and we can see down in there, there's no bullet in the chamber and no bullet in the magazine, right? So this pistol is chambered in 9mm, right? So we have our 9mm, we have our 5 9mm rounds here. This magazine holds up to 17. We're not going to need all that for today's demonstration. So what I want to do is put the slide down, and we have to put some rounds into the magazine. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I do have a video on how to load magazines. Now, guys, I'm going to show you that this pistol is unloaded and it is safe. First thing you want to do is pick your pistol up. You're going to point it in a safe direction. Then we're going to rack the slide and see if there's a round chambered in it. We rack the slide, and this is our slide stop here. We're going to pull it back, push our slide stop up, and then that's going to hold our slide, right? There we go. We're looking in the chamber. I can see the barrel, and there is no round in there, right? So we're going to let this back down easy. We don't want to just let it go and slam it. Then we're going to look at our magazine. Yep, that's just a follower right there. There's no bullet in that magazine. So we can safely and reasonably say that this gun is empty. It is not ready to fire. So guys, I have another video on how to load magazines. That will be linked at the end of this video. So if you don't know how to load a magazine, you might want to go ahead and fast forward to the end of this video, click that link, watch that video, and then come back. All right, guys, we're going to load this magazine. And we're going to put 5 rounds in it. All right, we have rounds in the magazine. The gun is still empty. We haven't put any bullets in the gun. One thing you might have on your pistol that I don't have on this one is a manual safety. And a lot of times there'll be a little lever right here on the back side of the gun. It might just be on the left side or the right side, or it might be on both and be ambidextrous. But this gun does not have an external safety on it. Some of them do, some of them don't. It's all your preference. But for loading the gun, you want to make sure that your safety is on, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our magazine and we're going to insert it into the pistol, right? We're going to push it in and we're going to wait and listen for that click. right? You heard that click. The magazine will not pull out now. So we know that the magazine is all the way in the pistol. Still, the pistol is not ready to fire. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a round from the magazine into the chamber, and that will make the gun ready to fire. And how we're going to do that is we're going to do what's called racking the slide, or pulling the slide back. Now, this is something you don't want to do in slow motion. You want to kind of be intentional with it when you do it. So here we go. I'm going to rack the slide back and put a round in the chamber. Again, the gun is pointing in a safe direction. There we go. Now, this gun is hot. There's a round in the chamber. There's no external safety. All we have to do now is pull the trigger and it will fire. And we can check that by this loaded chamber indicator. When there's a round in the chamber on this gun, this little extractor sticks out a little bit and we can feel that. Now, we can also look down in this hole and see the brass of the round right there. Not all guns have these, but this one happens to have it. Okay. Let's say you've fired 3 of the 5 rounds out of this pistol and you're done. For some reason, maybe it started raining, something like that. You got to pack it up and you got to leave the range. Now we need to unload the pistol safely. So there's 2 things that we got to do. Number 1 is we're going to drop this magazine. So we're going to push the magazine release right here, and that's going to let the magazine go. Right? We can see we still have a couple rounds in there, but we know that there's still a round in this chamber, right? Next step is we're going to rack the slide again to have that extractor grab the bullet and pull it out. All right, again, we have to point this gun in a safe direction, and we're going to rack the slide, and we're good. See, that round came flying out of there. Now we can check. Let's make sure that we have no more rounds in the chamber. We're going to rack it a few times, and then we're going to visually inspect. No round in the chamber. Now that we have that round out, guys, you can actually lock the slide back using your slide lock here and check again to make sure there's no rounds in it. Now, I do want to stress one thing with unloading a firearm. Just because you drop the magazine out does not mean that there's not a round in the chamber. You always have to rack the chamber and make sure that there's no round in the chamber. Now, guys, if you're like me, every time you look at a pistol or you're checking a pistol or you're going to mess with a pistol, you always check, make sure the magazine's out, and I always check and make sure there's not a round in it. And I'll always grab it and rack it a couple times and look in there. Even at the gun store, if I'm looking at one, I always make sure and eject the magazine and check the chamber. It's just a good habit to get into, guys, because even when a firearm's unloaded, you're going to treat it as if it's loaded. All right, guys, so we're going to go through it one more time a little quicker, and I'm going to show you how to load and unload this pistol. Again, point it in the safe direction. We're going to insert the magazine till it clicks, and we're going to rack the slide. Now we have one in the chamber. This thing is ready to rock. It's ready to fire. Now we're going to unload. We're going to drop that magazine, and then we're going to rack the slide again and lock it back. We can visually inspect. No round in the magazine. Guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I really hope you got something out of it. I hope you've learned how to safely load and unload your semi-automatic pistol. I really appreciate you guys watching. Do me a favor, like and subscribe real quick. Click those buttons. It only takes you a second, and it really helps the channel. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.